The holiday season is so hectic for everyone, so much to plan for and so much to do. And we don't want to forget about our health, which is so important. James Laval, clinical pharmacist, board certified clinical nutritionist, author of more than 20 books, and clinical director for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Performance Health Program, has some new information to share with us that makes taking care of our health a little easier by adding a multitasking supplement to our routine called Kyolix Omega AGE. One supplement that will help protect our immune system, our heart, and our bone health. Welcome back to the show, James.
Oh, great to be on the show, Andrea. Always is.
So tell me a little bit about this supplement. It sounds incredible.
I think Wakanaga scientists, the makers of Kyolic outdid themselves on this because I think they pulled together an incredible multitasking formula. I mean, maybe as good as you at multitasking, actually. I mean, this is something else. I mean, because it's really something, people are out wanting to take supplements. At the same time, I know that people can get pill fatigue. So when you can find something that will address multiple areas of concern with quality ingredients, it's incredibly important. So when you have the cardiovascular system, the immune system, and your bone health, all at one time being covered by Omega AGE, it's incredibly important. So it has omega-3s, and I know we're going to go into the, just how great these omega-3s are because it's not just any. Aged garlic extract, I love talking about aged garlic extract, up to 900 peer-reviewed and publications now on aged garlic extract. So I'm going to be excited to talk about that. And then it adds vitamin D3, K2, E, B6, B9, folic acid, and B12. Now, the thing that I hope I get across is how important it is to manage your immune system, your bone health, and your cardiovascular health all at the same time, because they all kind of intertwine together. And that means we're going to age more gracefully if we've got better control of all three aspects of our health.
That sounds really good. Easier is better, and getting all of the nutrients in one capsule basically simplifies our supplement routine, which is good. Like, as you mentioned, many of us have pill fatigue or just taking a lot of different supplements. I mean, if I showed you my cupboard, James, you'd be like, okay, I get it.
Well, me too.
Like,
I would say I never met a supplement I didn't like, but
I love it. So, I mean, and you talked about, I like the idea that there's a benefit of having everything in one, right? I mean, I think for me, as long as that efficacious dose is there and it's, it works and it's based on research, I think it's amazing because it's simplifying our life. So you mentioned the connection between immunity and heart health, but can you just go into a little bit more detail about that?
Well, sure. I mean, I think we're familiar with, your cardiovascular system has to deliver nutrients all over your body, including oxygen, right? So you got to get through all the microcapillaries and deliver the nutrients to your tissues. It also is keeping that cardiovascular system healthy. Your blood vessels have to be pliable. They have to be able to respond to stress. So that ability to keep them pliable as you age, because we always hear the term hardening of the arteries, right? That was the old term back when I was a kid that you heard all the time. And then, of course, the immune system is important because, we not only do we have to fight things off, but it's important for your response to exercise. It's important for your response to stress, right? People that are under continued stress stresses their immune system. And it turns out that a lot of problems that occur with your cardiovascular system, meaning that as I start to plaque my arteries, your immune system's under stress and you're throwing out more inflammatory compounds into your system. So if you're making more inflammatory compounds, you're more prone to have that stress on your cardiovascular system. So that relationship between the two is incredibly important. And we put a lot of demands on ourselves these days, working long hours, maybe not getting the exercise we should get or the sleep. All of that kind of puts us more prone to be at risk for making these imbalances start to occur.
Yeah. And we're sitting more too, right? I find that, I try to use my stand-up desk, but literally I'm sitting at my desk all day long and at home now all day long. I'm not even, I always work from home, but so many of us aren't going to an office, right? Where in the past we were able to kind of get a little bit more into that exercise. James, how does bone health fit into all of this?
That's a great question, right? Because you think, well, I kind of get cardiovascular and immune health, but why would you include bone health in with cardiovascular and immune health. Well, it turns out it's really important to keep the calcium in your bones as you age, or if you're inactive, or as women obviously turn towards menopause and they start losing bone. And now 3 in 10 cases of osteoporosis are men. Bone loss equates directly to coronary artery calcification. So when you lose bone, and that calcium is being basically dissolved out of the bone, enters into your circulation, that calcium under inflammation that's triggered by your immune system starts to create that plaque. And so really targeting bone health is an essential component to not just cardiovascular health and not just immune health, because those are really important, but the third key to that is that when your bones are brittle, you're more at risk for, breaks. So there's the obvious of preventing breaks, and then the not so obvious of good bone health means you got a better chance at having good cardiovascular health.
Hello, you mentioned menopause. Yes, that's fascinating. I am in menopause myself, and I know that obviously bone health and heart health and everything kind of comes into play. So thank you for explaining that. That was actually very eye-opening. And I will want to talk to you more about that at another time. Okay, so I want to go into, you're talking about heart health, you're talking about immune. How do we improve our heart health and our immune health?
Well, I can tell you that, there's the obvious, right? I mean, I've talked about this for 38 years now with my clients and patients. You got to get exercise. Exercise helps your bone health. Exercise helps to alleviate stress. Exercise helps to keep your blood pressure under control. So exercise, important. Move daily. If you are sitting at home, get up, walk around in your house, get outside, do whatever you got to do to move. That's important. Getting more vegetables and fruit into your diet, trying to eat, whether it's, wild caught, grass fed, quality sources of food. And I think in general, people eat too much. They eat too often. They eat too late. They usually choose the wrong foods. They're under a lot of stress and they don't get enough sleep. So that's where it all starts, is try to work on those things. And then the absolute rock star of cardiovascular health, and now we know it supports immune health too because of recent studies published, is aged garlic extract. And aged garlic extract isn't just, I can eat more garlic, right? I love eating garlic. I'm Italian. I love garlic. I mean, there's nothing better than garlic. I don't even mind the stinking rose effect. I think that's the normal smell in my house. It's okay. But for the average person, they may have a concern of, I don't want to eat garlic. I get that odor, or I don't like the taste. It's too bitter, or whatever it might be. Aged garlic extract takes out all of the odor causing volatile compounds when it's being aged, and it gets transformed into new compounds that support cardiovascular health, but then also support immune health. So one of the interesting studies that was done was that when aged garlic was given to individuals, that it increased these certain immune cells called gamma delta T killer cells. And gamma delta T killer cells ready your body to fight off a cold bug or a virus, right? So it props up your innate immune system, and it does that in your gut. And a couple other things that they found, which was incredibly important about taking aged garlic extract in a few different other studies. One is it also acts as a prebiotic. And I don't think a lot of people knew that aged garlic extract actually acts as an efficient prebiotic. Why is that important? Pretty easy. If I can keep the probiotics fed, the microbiome stays healthy. And when the microbiome is healthy, the immune system is healthy. So that's the second point. The third thing that's important is that when they gave aged garlic extract to individuals that were overweight, that had increased inflammatory cytokines in their circulation. And that's what happens when people are diabetic or pre-diabetic, when people have heart disease, when people are overweight or obese. They have a low grade equivalent of an infection going on in their body all the time. Their body's pumping out too many inflammatory compounds. When they gave aged garlic extract, it reduced two of the biggest inflammatory compounds that a lot of people have heard about now, interleukin-6, IL-6, which was, the big topic of the pandemic, of course, and TNF alpha, tumor necrosis factor alpha. Why is that important? Well, when IL-6 goes up, your gut gets leaky and more permeable. When IL-6 gets higher, your insulin receptors become less effective. So 1,200 milligrams a day of aged garlic extract will help to reduce inflammation and return the body to a normal, healthy inflammatory response, lower those inflammatory compounds, help get the blood vessels more pliable and permeable, which is great for circulation. And to top it off, it has been proven to reverse vulnerable plaque. So that means that your arteries are going to become more stable, more healthy, less inflammation. The bad oxidized LDL goes down and your good lipids go up. And so that's the baseline of this formula before we even get to any other ingredients.
Okay, I want to move on to omega because it's Kyolic's Omega AGE. And we know, and many of us have heard that omegas are really good for our heart, our brain, our skin, our nails. I mean, there are thousands of studies on the benefits of omega-3s, but it's an interesting combination because I haven't seen that in the combination that it's in for Kyolic's Omega AGE. Talk about that.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's the quality of omega-3 fatty acids. The big problem with fish oil is that if it smells fishy, and you take it and you're burping it back up, more than likely that fish oil is oxidized and it actually isn't going to contribute to your health as much as it should once that fish oil is oxidized. So the EPAX, sustainably harvested, ultra pure omega-3 fatty acid, I take Omega AGE. And I've got a bottle right here. I take it. I get no burp, no fish smell, no odor. And it's because the purity and the sustainability of the harvesting of these omega-3 fatty acids. Now, obviously, fish oil reduces inflammation. So it turns down something called the thromboxane pathway, which helps to reduce inflammatory signaling, helps to lower triglycerides. It can help to lower homocysteine. Obviously, there's been some studies on it for blood pressure. And then, of course, as long as it's pure and not oxidized, it reduces oxidative stress. So really important. And then the other factor is that it helps to fluff up your lipids. And why is it important to fluff your lipids up? I give you an example of this. If I wanted to throw a BB through a tennis net, I could probably do that, right? Throw a BB through a tennis net. If I wanted to throw a softball through that same tennis net, it's not going through. That's the inner lining of your arteries. It's like a mesh that's tightly wound, but if you're making little BB-sized lipids, they can get in. So the combination of aged garlic extract and omega-3 fatty acids really targets making those LDL particles more fluffy and big and making more HDL cholesterol as well. So it's super important when you're looking at fish oil. And once again, certified by the Friends of the Sea. It comes out of Norway. This is as pure as it gets.
I'm so happy, James, that you talked about the rancidity and the, when fish oil, the burps. I mean, so many people, when they're taking fish oil, they complain about those after those burps that they get afterwards. Or I'm a big fan of biting into my omegas. So I like to actually for them to taste good so they're fresh. But I'm so happy you talked about quality because for me, when it comes to supplements, quality is the most important thing. So thank you for hitting that and explaining it. That was a really good visual, how you explained in terms of helping it to be fluffier so things can actually get in. So really well done. Thank you for that. I want to talk about some of the other ingredients because I know this formula, this is, the Kyolic's Omega AGE has really been formulated with everything to work synergistically together. So let's talk about, some of the other ingredients like the D, the K2, which I love the combination of D plus K2. Yay, big thumbs up for that one. You've got E, you've got B. So how do these all work together?
Oh, yeah, this is great. I mean, vitamin D3, K2, real simple. Absorb calcium and minerals into the bone. K2 is take the calcium off the arteries, help it get in the bone, and keep it in the bone. Now, one other fact, aged garlic extract has been shown to stop bone loss. So yes, when they were doing the coronary artery scans to show the coronary artery calcification and how it was stopping that, they started looking at the spine and the bone, and they were measuring the density of the bone. And when they gave aged garlic over these trials and they started measuring the bone density, the bone loss stopped. So you get actually a three-pronged approach to keeping that bone healthy and keeping the calcium where it belongs and not in your arteries. Aged garlic extract blocks it. Vitamin D, obviously people know the value of vitamin D for bone health. And then K2 for its great additive value to the utility of vitamin D. And of course, now aged garlic. You may not have known that one, Andrea, about aged garlic extract and its effect on the bone.
I didn't know that. As I'm sitting here listening, I'm like, my mouth is open. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing, especially as we get into menopause, because we know that we're more prone to something like osteoporosis. So no, I didn't know that. And I'm like, how do I need to get my hands on this supplement. I need to be taking this every single day. I'm like,
even got the vitamins yet, or the vitamin E. I mean, I'm not even done yet. I mean,
I'm going to let you continue. But I'm like, wow, this definitely, and I like the fact that it's just all in one. All right, continue. Vitamin E, which is another one of my absolute.
Vitamin E. I mean, vitamin E is actually, a lot of people don't realize how important it is in heart health, because vitamin E actually controls your LDL cholesterol. You kind of think of a patrolman going around that LDL cholesterol particle, keeping the oxidative stress at bay. So vitamin E, great for heart health, good for immune health, just super important. And then when you think about the B vitamins, B6, B9, and B12, B9 being folic acid, you need all three of those vitamins. Great for stress, great for energy. More importantly, helps to control homocysteine. So if people want to know what homocysteine is, simply it's a process when you're not methylating correctly. And you methylate in order to make all the neurotransmitters in your body, to help your body to detoxify, to create glutathione. You've got all kinds of reasons why we methylate, but you need B vitamins. And some people actually need more B vitamins in order to methylate. And when you're not methylating enough, you make something called homocysteine. Homocysteine is a marker that we know when it goes up, it relates to progression of coronary artery disease, dementia, and kidney disease. So now, I already mentioned that you also have Kyolic aged garlic extract, which helps with homocysteine, and fish oil that helps with managing homocysteine. And I've got to say, more and more over the last 5 years, I've been dealing with homocysteine on people. I don't know why it's going up. I mean, but I just see it in general going up. I think part of it might be, it's environmental burden, and therefore people are trying to detoxify and are running out of their B vitamins. I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's really important that we emphasize that you've got, once again, a three-pronged attack at managing one of the biggest markers that relate to cardiovascular health, as well as brain health, as well as kidney health, and that's homocysteine.
I love that you're talking about methylation. I am one of those people that don't methylate well. I've had my genetic testing done. I've had Dutch testing done, and I know that I don't methylate well. So, like B vitamins are crucial. Now, I didn't realize that aged garlic helps to do that too. Kyolic does that too. So I'm always looking for ways to help, increase my methylation pathways. So I think that, wow, thank you for that. I didn't even know that.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that aged garlic extract builds glutathione.
Oh, okay. And glutathione, we love it for the liver detoxing. Oh, okay. It's all coming together for me, James. I'm like, wait, because I've spent so much time researching. Right. I'm like, aha moment. I love it. No, this is great. I love it because it's such a passion of mine. And I say this all the time, but I just love my job. I love my job. I love my job because I get to interview amazing people like you. I get to work with amazing companies like Wakanaga. Like for me, like it's just, it all kind of comes together in this pretty package with a beautiful bow on top. So thank you so much. So how can anybody learn more if they want to learn more about the research and they want to know where to buy it? I think that would be a great way to end this because I know I want to go get it for myself. So
well, obviously, go to your favorite health food store. I mean, virtually all health food stores, I think because of the quality and the science behind Wakanaga and the Kyolic family of products, everybody carries them. So that's an easy way. You can go online to learn about aged garlic extract and omega AGE. at kyolic.com, KYOLIC.com. And I'd invite people to try this. This is a great product. And remember, you start mixing a lot of things together into one capsule, you got to have a good team of scientists to keep that solution stable and becomes a product that's effective. And that is one of the, I think, the crowning jewels of Wagenaga as a company is the dedication of their scientists to provide products that work when you're going to take them.
Yeah, I love it. Excellent way to end the interview. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Oh, great to be here as always.